Welcome to FairlyOddCast Episode 4. We can only hope this is like Star Wars and finally starts getting good with the fourth installment. Then the first three are just a painful memory that are only brought up in fan fiction and some weird paintings.
Welcome to FairlyOddCast. I'm Adam Watts.
And I'm Mark, your fat genie in a bottle of Alley.
Kills me. Welcome to Episode 4.
Episode 4.
We're kind of hoping it's like Star Wars and it finally starts to get good now.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate goal. It would be nice if it was good at the first episode, but
Well,
you got to get your feet wet.
yeah. It's all testing.
It is.
A catch and release, if you will. So as we do every week, even though it's only the fourth week, we start with some stories about ourselves because, well, we're assuming not everybody knows us. Or eventually not everybody will know us. So by the time they catch up, it'll be like they're our best friends.
That's right.
Because our friends have had to live through these stories.
Quite a few of them.
Oh, before we even get in the stories, what's the number?
The number is 28.
28.
Up from 26.
So only two more.
Yep. I had one nurse like 3 days in a row, so.
Oh, so she's thought a lot.
Yeah.
Did it move?
No,
Oh, okay.
it didn't.
So let's get into the stories then. I'm going to tell the story of anal fart rape. Copyright. Not that I should have to copyright anal fart rape. I just don't want I don't want it to catch on like Streets Ahead.
Yeah.
I'm the raper in this story, which sounds terrible.
It really does.
But we're going to leave
Should I call the authorities?
We're going to leave the rapist. No, the rapee?
Yes.
The victim.
The rapee.
The rapee.
Yeah.
No, maybe. We'll just say victim. We're going to leave them anonymous.
Your rapist, your raper. Yeah, it'd be rapee.
Rapey. We'll leave them anonymous because, well, I have no dignity, but we'll save them some dignity.
That's fair.
So we're on our way to or from Trois-Rivières. I can't remember if it was the trip up or the trip back, and we're in an RV. I don't know if anyone's ever been in an RV. They're big, but there's really not that much space when it's moving. So we were trying to have a nap on the couch, which is not working out that well, but we're kind of sleeping. Like one person's back is to the back of the couch, and one person's back is faced out, like opposite ends of the couch, ass to ass.
So nothing can lock in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like we're spooning. So
You're anti-spooning.
we're anti-spooning. I needed to fart. And I was comfortable. Like you are when you're napping.
Yep.
I didn't want to get up. The other person was asleep as well. So I decided to fart directly into their ass.
Fantastic.
I mean, I violated someone with my own fart.
What else can you say?
The best part of the story is I didn't even tell the person for years. We were just drinking one night, and it was like, hey, I'm going to Trois-Rivières. I fart raped you. And it was like, what? Yeah, I fart raped you. So, look, another story that didn't involve nudity, but it did involve anal fart raping.
But it does involve your
Yeah.
ass, which is getting close to nudity. That's a good story, though. I thought that story went coupled with another story where, and maybe I'm getting this story wrong, somebody was asleep and they woke up to have an ass right in their face.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe that's something to do with Rutledge Street, though.
I think maybe. Oh, that was me. I wasn't the ass. I was the one who woke up to an ass in my face.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that was...
I thought they were the same part of the same story.
Nope. I don't think that was repercussions.
No?
That was him saying, hey, look, I put my boxers on backwards, and he opened up the pee hole.
That's right.
So
That's right.
That's how that one went.
Yeah, another great story involving ass.
We have too many stories involving
No,
ass.
you have too many stories involving ass.
Well, it's just the two.
Yeah, you've got more.
You have no stories involving ass.
Not really.
All right.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe if I thought hard, but...
Next week, I'm going to figure out a story that involves ass for you.
Right. good luck with that.
All right.
My story this week is it's kind of like a public service announcement. It's a cautionary tale.
I'm intrigued.
At the end of this month, I will have lived in my house for exactly 5 years.
Okay.
And in that period of time, I have now officially tried to burn it down twice. So every 2.5 years, I try and set my house on fire, basically.
They have a name for that, don't they?
Yeah, probably.
Isn't it a pyromaniac?
Yeah.
An arsonist?
Within the first couple of weeks, there was snow on the ground, and we're in the process of unpacking and all that good crap. And this one was just simple stupidity. I turned the oven on to bake something, forgetting that there was leftover pizza from the night before in there.
You do that, and you've
And
done
the box
that
caught on
entire
fire.
time I've known you. You put the leftover pizza
In the oven. Yeah.
Not refrigerated.
No.
In the oven, because being in the oven is better than being on the counter.
It is.
No, it's the same thing.
It's not. It's an
totally.
enclosed space.
Oh, you're an ass.
So yeah, that was very simple. The box caught on fire. I caught it in time. I ran outside, threw it into the snow that happened to be on the ground. And then it snowed again, and I didn't get to clean up all the ashes and burnt cardboard until like the spring.
So the pizza box is the first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the new time. This is what caused me to think, wow, I should tell people not to be stupid like me. So one night I'm making dinner. Most things are ready, so I'm getting a little side dish ready. I'm gonna glaze some carrots. So I put some carrots in a small pot to boil. I put them on the back burner and I turn the burner on. I'm like, that'll be at least 10 minutes. I'll go sit and watch some TV.
You fell asleep, didn't you?
I did not.
Oh.
However, within 5 minutes, my wife's like, what's that smell? Billows of smoke coming from the kitchen. Uh-oh. So I run in. She runs in. And there is the front burner turned on, not the back burner that the carrots were on. And on this burner was a vinyl-coated day planner filled with paper.
Oh.
An oven mitt, a spoon, and my fucking car keys. So, acrid plasticky smoke filling the house. Rachel runs outside to the rain with the baby because the house is just filling up. I'm gagging away, trying to get melting plastic off the burner of my stove. I grab the day planner. I throw it in the sink, let it smoke away. I then go for the oven mitt. I save that. The spoon, which is all tarnished, I save that. My keys are a soupy, plasticky mess. My gym membership thingy that lets me through the door, black lump of liquid plastic. The key, the car key, the all-important car key, which has a little transistor in it for safety reasons, so you can't start the car without, that particular key. Pooled of plastic mess. The key no longer works, by the way, although I did find the transistor in the lump of plastic. And I even tried. I thought, well, I wonder what would happen if I put it really close to the key and then go try and turn the car on. Nothing. So we're down to one set of keys, because I'm an idiot. My key fob that had the unlock, the trunk lock, and all of that crap, mess. The keys themselves, most of them are burnt black and won't come clean. Our mail key. So, boys and girls, when you're going to glaze carrots, be sure you turn on the right burner. Or you will... Or, better yet, if you're going to turn on a burner, period, make sure there's not shit all over the other ones. That's my story for the week.
That's amazing.
It
reminds me, my dad told me a story about coming home drunk one night.
Drunk, did you say?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, back in his younger, college age days, putting a pot of boiling water on to cook eggs.
Okay. That's a weird thing to have when you're coming home drunk.
You've met my father.
I have.
He eats raw fucking bacon.
I know he does.
Like, the man is a man of an iron stomach. So he forgot about it. So eventually the water evaporated.
Yep.
And it melted the pot.
The pot started to. Yeah, I could see it.
Oh, it didn't start to. He woke up to a lump.
Wow, that's
like a metal pot.
That's a pretty hot freaking stove.
Yeah.
On a side note, I have eaten raw bacon. I did it as like a teenager. Not on a regular basis like he does, but
Well, he doesn't do it on a regular basis. But it's cured.
yeah.
It's smoked technically beforehand, so I mean, it's not one of those things you put in the frying pan and go, make sure it's cooked to this temperature before you eat it, like
No,
chicken.
that's true.
Or
And
pork.
I like to cook mine to chewy. I don't like crispy bacon like
I
most
love
people
crispy
do.
bacon. Or especially crispy bacon for sandwiches. If it's not crispy on a sandwich, I will not put it on.
Crispy bacon for a sandwich is a little better than chewy.
Because there's
for
nothing worse than biting into a clubhouse and then the whole piece of bacon comes with it because it wasn't crunchy enough.
Sure. That's true.
I think we're going to throw away the regular segments this week. We're just going to chat a little bit. We're going to try to get some new segment introductions so we don't get sued.
Yep.
Maybe we'll go back to them. Maybe we won't. Who knows?
We'll
Maybe-
play around.
Maybe we'll just chat. We figured we'd do another couple of top 5 lists, though, this week.
Yep. 2 top 5s each instead of one big top 10 each.
Yeah, I have no honorable mentions this time either.
I do.
Ah.
Video game honorable mentions, not albums.
Well, I'm going first with the story.
Oh, by the way, we're doing albums and video games.
Yeah, yeah, albums and video. What did you base your top 5 albums on?
Albums that I can listen to no matter when, where, and over again.
That's what I did. It wasn't what I thought was the best album. It was just something I can throw on and kick back and relax to.
Yep.
That's kind of what I went with.
Some of mine's, I guess, not really relaxing music. I could listen to them for days.
Yeah.
Just because I like them.
Cool.
So,
Let's start with well, we normally do video games, so why don't we do the music first, and then we'll do video games second.
yep, sounds good to me.
Go ahead, my tubby friend.
Albums that I can listen to all the time. I didn't really base them in an order. So we'll start with Green Day's American Idiot album.
Almost made my list.
Yep, I can put that on. To me, and I can listen to it multiple times easily, but to me, it's one of the best albums from track 1 to track done.
Well, that's because when you're listening on the CD,
It's in proper order, for one.
well, it's in proper order, and there are no tracks. It all
Yeah, sure
flows
enough.
into one. It's like one big song that they've broken up. It's
Yeah.
a rock opera.
Exactly. And I mean, even as far as individual tracks go, when the song, When September Ends was a ridiculously stupid hit, and I hated hearing it on the radio, I still do enjoy it when I listen to the CD as a whole.
Yeah, when you listen to the whole thing, it has a different than just having to hear it come on the radio.
Yep. Second on my list is Road Apples from the Tragically Hip.
I knew that was going to be on it.
Yeah, well, there's not a bad song on it. And it's one of the albums that got me into the Tragically Hip. But there's just so many good songs. Cordelia and Little Bones, and it's amazing. So, fantastic album. They're coming in February for those of us that live in Nova Scotia. Anybody's interested? I may be going, I think.
I'm not going to go again. I've seen them enough.
I haven't seen them in at least a decade, so.
It's been that long, but I don't feel that's long enough for me to go again.
Third on the list, is actually one of my favorite albums of all time, Rattle and Hum from U2.
I was going to guess that one, too. I was going to make a little sealed envelope of yours.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. That album from them is it's still one of their best. The live portions are fantastic, and just some of the versions that are slightly different than, original studio tracks. Great album.
Funny thing about that album is it's Van Diemen's Land that I like the most off of it.
A lot of people say that. And it's a fantastic tune, but I like Angels of Harlem, of course. That's one of my favorites on there.
I almost broke into Van Diemen's Land.
Yeah. Please don't.
Not yet.
Next, again, from this band, my favorite album, Stranger Than Fiction, from Bad Religion.
Oh, Bad Religion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sore spot for you, isn't it?
A little bit.
They came to Halifax, finally. Probably never come back
Probably not.
because they talked about how shitty it was there.
Did they?
Not how shitty the city was, but the venue.
Oh, yeah.
But
Where
it
did
was,
they play?
Multi-purpose room at the
Right.
Forum. But it was really dusty, so really hard on their voices and stuff like
Oh, yeah.
that.
That's too bad.
So, but we went.
We didn't include me.
We didn't include Mark. Surprisingly, for as long as we've been friends, I knew he liked Bad Religion. But I didn't understand that the two fanatics in my brother and Jeff were basically introduced to Bad Religion by Mark. So it's really their fault
Yeah.
for not inviting you. I'm pretty clean on this one. Because you didn't introduce me to Bad Religion, so it shouldn't be my responsibility to tell you shit.
It's true. Had I known they were coming, I definitely would have been there for sure.
And it was a great concert.
Invite or not, so.
Yeah.
But there are many, many great Bad Religion songs, but most of my favorites are on that album. And some people probably have a problem with that because
That's the most mainstream one.
exactly,
for sure.
and I still love it because it's fantastic. And here's one a little out of left field, and I always liked it because it's such a great collaboration album that doesn't happen. You don't see this kind of album very often, but the Judgment Night soundtrack. I know, right? Weird. But there's so many great tunes on that album that
I agree wholeheartedly because I remember when the Spawn soundtrack came out and it was the exact opposite of the Judgment Night soundtrack.
yeah. And there's too many good tunes, like so many weird, Del the Funky Homo Sapien and Pearl Jam and all kinds of great bands doing, and the Biohazard and Onyx song.
That was hip hop beats with rock singers, right? No.
It was a mixture of, it was mostly hip hop singers.
Hip hop singers with rock.
Yeah.
That's right. Because Spawn was hip hop beats with rock singers.
Yeah. So you had like I think it was Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam did a jam together.
Yeah.
And it was Cypress Hill that did most of the singing on it and stuff. It was just fantastic. So those are my 5.
We have no crossover.
I would imagine. We have
At
quite
all.
a diverse
We do.
music taste from each other, but also a lot of the same.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that anyone who knows me assumes that this top 5 is filled with 80s metal. And you know what? There's not a single 80s metal album on it.
Excellent.
I mean, I could easily throw on Appetite for
Sure you
Destruction or anything like that.
Dr. Feelgood.
But they didn't make the list of stuff I can just throw the headphones on, kick back, and not even skip a track.
Yep.
Not that I would skip a track on any of those albums, but it's not in the same vein as kind of what I've done with my list.
Yep.
So, in no particular order, I've got from my absolute music legend, Idol, Neil Young, Rust Never Sleeps.
I knew Neil Young was going to be on there for sure.
Yeah. But you probably thought like Harvest.
I didn't really think of an album. I just knew he was going to be there.
But it's Rust Never Sleeps. It's live. It's good. It's got the excellent rock and acoustic versions of Hey Hey My My and then My Hey Hey. So, love it. Cinnamon Girl. It's got everything on it,
Yep.
right? So, it's fun to listen to.
I think I read he's doing a new album. Or maybe it's like a re-release of something. His name was in the news recently, but anyway.
Next one is another musical influence, In the Doors.
Good stuff.
But I didn't go with one of their music albums. I went with the American Prayer, which was what they did after he died.
Yep.
And it's his poetry album, but they did music for the poetry.
Yep.
That thing I could put on and just zone and do just 100% zone out and just listen to and love it. Love every second, every word. It's amazing. To me, anyways.
Another good choice.
I know. A lot of stoner music on this list.
Yeah.
For a guy that doesn't
Well, you're
smoke.
2 for 2 so far.
Yeah. I'm about to be 3 for 3. Pink Floyd, The Wall.
I considered that, but
I don't know if it's the album, the movie, but when you listen to the album, you can see the movie
yep,
perfectly.
absolutely.
And when you watch
And you
the
can
movie,
see Wizard of Oz too.
that's Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh yeah.
I've never done that.
Me
But it
neither.
only syncs up for the first hour,
Yeah, something like that.
and then it's done. Then you're just stuck with a muted movie.
Yeah.
What's the point? That's something if you're one of those people who gets high all the time. It's like, you gotta do this, man. It sinks
weed.
up. Number 4, Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run.
Interesting.
I know, eh?
Yep.
I love the Boss. What can I say? I don't love the Boss to pay how much they wanted to go see him last summer, or this summer that just passed.
Definitely, yeah. And almost really, these days at our age, not worth a trip to New Brunswick.
Yeah, it's not worth driving 2.5 hours for anything.
Yeah.
Could have gone golfing for $25 or 18 holes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you want me to drive to Annapolis Royal? That's like 5 hours out of my day round trip. It's like, fuck that.
Speaking of golf, what's the date? 16th? 17th. So
Yep.
yesterday was the 16th. In New Minas, there's a golf course still open.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of old guys walking down the course.
It would be terrible. It'd be so wet.
Yeah, it would have been.
Like, we've had so much rain this fall, it'd just be garbage golfing.
It would. It was a nice looking course, though.
It won't be if they keep letting people on it, because, I mean, those divots aren't going to grow back.
Yeah, that's true.
Now. And
Next.
finally, Nirvana Unplugged. I know you do not like Nirvana very much.
Yeah, I really
but
have
even
not- I
you
really have
like
not.
that album.
Not really.
I think Unplugged was the way they should have been. They're way better acoustic.
They were better, yeah, absolutely, but I'm not a fan.
Meh.
I can't do it.
And it's not even their songs on it that I liked. It's all the covers they did. The Lead Belly, they get the Meat Puppets up there to do a couple of songs. David Bowie. It was the covers they did that were better than their stuff, I found anyways. But I like covers.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a big cover fan.
Yep.
Like,
And I like finding songs that aren't acoustic that have been done acoustically.
I mean, for that you just have to type in Boyce Avenue.
But I like sometimes you can find the original artist doing that, though.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I remember back in the day, I think Matchbox 20, their version of Time After Time.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Our Lady Peace, Dear Prudence.
Oh, that song is awesome.
It's too bad that's only ever that one shitty live recording of it that I could ever find.
Yep. Well, yeah, because they really only did it for concerts. It was
Yep.
never an album thing for them. So.
Just like Moist doing Billie Jean.
Yep. Good list.
Yeah, that's my 5.
I thought of 2 honorable mentions while we were sitting here, and people are probably gonna think me gay for saying this, but I really
Not
like,
that there's anything wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. I thought of the commercial for the movie coming up, but I want to throw a couple musicals on there. Fan of the Opera and Les Mis.
Hate Les Mis.
Wow, I love it. Some of the songs are amazing.
Love Fan of the Opera, though.
Yeah. So there you go.
You're going to have to, when you get home, YouTube Fan of the Opera, and I think it's Nightwish. It's a metal version of it with like an opera singer.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. It's wicked.
You're sure you're not talking about Wishmaster, right?
No.
Okay.
It's not a movie. It's
No,
a band.
there's a metal song, Wishmaster. It's one of those videos on YouTube that has misheard lyrics.
No, this is straight up Fan of the Opera, and I think it's Nightwish or something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, the computer's right next to me, and I could look, but I am way too fucking lazy.
Yeah.
So that's my top 5. I mean, there's so many honorable mentions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could put on 15 honorable mentions.
Yep.
I mean, I already mentioned Appetite and stuff like that. So
Yep. Oh, yeah, I could have had a few more.
So that's it for music top 5s.
Yep.
Video games, sir.
This was a hard list.
This was a ridiculously hard list.
5. I've been playing. My first video game system that my parents bought me was an Atari 2600.
Yep.
So I've been playing video games for a long time. My mother had the system that Pong was on. So I've been playing video games since they were available to the household, basically.
Excellent.
So.
And surprisingly, we've had sex.
Surprisingly, yeah. We both produced 2 children.
Yeah. I have proof I've had sex at least
Exactly.
twice.
Me too. You can even tell because they look like us.
One of mine looks like me. Marley doesn't look anything like me, but she acts like me. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
It's like Holden looks identical to me. Like,
Yep.
if I show him pictures of me at that age, Marley will think it's him, but he acts like his mother.
I was going through my 93 yearbook the other day. I hope he doesn't look like you did in grade 10.
Oh, those giant glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody that Rachel was doing business with recently said she went to high school with me, so I had to find her to see if I knew who the hell she was.
Fun.
Susan Gertridge?
Nope.
She was in your grade.
What
Gertridge.
is that? Is that her?
No, she's Healy now, I believe.
Oh, she's Healy now, but she was.
I think it was Gertridge. Anyway, I didn't know.
I don't remember any Susans.
Yeah, she was the only Susan in grade 10.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I literally before.
Well, then she didn't go to high school with you.
Yeah, she was. I was in grade 12.
Then she wasn't in my grade because you were coming back.
You're in my yearbook, dude.
Maybe. I
Trust me, I have it at home.
That was a terrible picture.
Yeah.
I was a burnout then.
Yeah, it was funny. So, video game list. I didn't, believe it or not, I mean, I've owned many systems over the years, and only 2 out of my 5 are from this generation.
None of mine are.
So, my list starts with an original Xbox game, The Elder Scrolls Morrowind.
That game almost got me divorced before I was even married.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, Oblivion and Skyrim are both fantastic. But I gave the nod to Morrowind because for me,
it was
the first. It was the first Elder Scrolls I played.
Yeah, we didn't play the first 2 at all, did we?
No. Exactly. Because I wasn't a computer gamer that much.
Yeah.
As far as computer games went, I was, the strategy games, Warcraft 1 and 2, StarCraft, and any, Age of Empires, all that crap. So that made my list first. Morrowind because it was ridiculous. It was, as far as console games, it was revolutionary because it was just so huge.
It was gigantic. And I mean, I remember, because that was when I was just hosting karaoke.
Yep.
So, and twice a week. So every other night, I was free.
Yep.
So Tracy would go up to bed, and I'd say, I'm just going to finish this mission I'm on, and
Yeah.
I'll be up too.
5 hours later.
She's getting up for work in the morning, and I'm still up just coming to bed because the missions would take that long to do.
Yep.
Some of them.
Especially if you walked.
Yeah.
And didn't take the, what are they, striders or whatever they're
I
called.
think this particular time was the one where you had to walk. You had to walk clear across the whole continent.
Nice.
It was a pilgrimage.
Oh, fantastic.
So
number 1, again, this is no particular order, but I figured I'd mention that one first. Next, I gave a nod to a series, and that would be the Halo series. I can't pick one. I mean, one was fantastic because it started the whole thing, but
they get better and look better.
I really enjoyed the story. Like, Halo's got as far as first-person shooters
I read
go,
the novels.
It's got it. Yeah, they're amazing.
I enjoy the novels way more than I enjoy the game, but I don't like first-person shooters. So.
Exactly. So yeah, and some of those books are great. Like there's one called Ghosts of Onyx that should be somehow made into a game. But anyway, so of course, and lots of people may agree with that. The only one that pissed me off was some of the story in Halo 2, and that's because playing as one of the elites was just stupid. Next on the list, and again, that's a crossover from original Xbox 360, because of course it started on the Xbox.
Yep.
And the next series that I gave a nod to does the same, and that's the Forza series.
Yep.
Because it started on the original Xbox and moved to 360. And other people would probably argue, well, why didn't you go with, Gran Turismo? Well, I'm not a Sony player, so... And we
did play Gran Turismo a lot.
We did. And
we even had the ladies involved in racing that game.
But I didn't like anything past 2. Some of the changes they made pissed me off.
Oh, we stopped at 2.
Yeah.
We bought a PlayStation just to play it.
Yep. And when I went to New Zealand for a couple of weeks, I brought a copy with me, being somewhat ignorant of the PAL versus NTSC method of TV transmissions.
It's true.
It didn't work. I got pissed, so my brother borrowed a copy from his friend while I was there, which was lucky.
We spent many, many hours playing that game.
Oh, yeah. You, me, Jeff. Probably, I don't know about Corey or not. Definitely us 3, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next, I'm going way back machine. Sega Genesis time. Now, you may not remember this very much, but Jeff Frederick certainly will. Herzog's Why.
I don't think I even know that game.
Yeah, it's credited as one of the first, and there's probably some before it, but it is credited as one of the first legitimate real-time strategy games, and it was on consoles, which also made it kind of weird and cool at the same time. It was a typical thing. You had a big base, and the other guy had a big base, and your point was to destroy said base. You were a robot that could turn into a jet, so it was kind of cool because it was almost like Transformers or Robotech.
I was going for Robotech.
So you could fly around.
Or Macross.
And there were little outposts all over the map, and you could send little soldier dudes, and once you got 5 to one outpost, you took that outpost over, and that would increase your production and yada, yada, yada. And you could make tanks, you could make anti-aircraft guns, boats, motorcycles, and deploy them against the enemy. And the maps were great, and the only thing is the AI was really stupid. Even on, like, no matter the difficulty, if you took over one particular outpost, he would obsess about it for the entire game until you defeated him almost. Okay. Like, he just wanted it. So if you put a bunch of anti-aircraft guns around, he would just constantly be dying. But fantastic game. Really hard to find even in the world of emulators and ROMs or whatever. But I did find a working one once. And finally, back to the Genesis days again. One of my favorite role-playing games of all time, Phantasy Star 2.
Yep.
I don't know how many times I've played and finished it.
That almost makes me want to add Dragon Warrior to my list.
Yeah, and I thought of that because, I wasn't much of a Nintendo fan or owner, but I did play the crap out of Dragon Warrior and the first Legend of Zelda, of course. So, but if you haven't by now played most of these, you should probably give them a try. And I do have 2 honorable mentions. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text adventure.
Holy shit, I don't think I've ever even heard of that or played it.
Oh, yeah, from the computer. It was literally, you start the game as the book starts, waking up. And you have to convince, the guy to lay in front of the bulldozer. You have to go to the bar with Ford.
But it's one of those...
It's text.
I remember those from back in the day.
Pick up toothbrush.
Yeah.
Toothbrush picked up.
Yeah, I remember those games.
Yeah, there's a Flash or a Java version of that game on the internet that you can play. Nice. So you may want to search that out. And my final honorable mention is another game that you, I, and Jeff played the shit out of. Grand Prix 2 for the computer.
Oh, my God. And it's not even that we did play the shit out of it because you could play all 3 at the same time. But the computer would race you.
You had 5-minute stints of you actually
could
driving.
Set depending on how long the race was, you each got equal amounts of time. And you could set it up for each got 1 or 2 turns.
Yep.
And, it was amazing. And it would just tell you, it would be a countdown to the computer taking over.
Yep.
The next person would jump in, it would count up to them taking over, and then you get to race.
And then we found a car editor where you could export the bitmaps that made up the paint jobs of the cars and edit them in paint.
Can you imagine if you could do that today with Photoshop?
Oh.
Grand Prix 3 tried it.
Oh, yeah?
And it was nowhere near as good because the game wasn't as good.
No. And that whole editor was a fan thing.
Oh, yeah.
We did on Grand Prix 2.
Yeah, that was a fan-created thing. But, the designs we used to make using paint
were pretty damn cool.
Unbelievable. We used to do a Crown Royal logo with the script.
Yep, Momo logos, all kinds of stuff.
It was crazy. I remember I made that Stormtrooper, because you could do the helmets, too.
Yep.
I made that Stormtrooper helmet.
Yep. It was awesome. So, those are my 2 honorable mentions. And I could come up with hundreds more.
Yeah, I have 3 honorable mentions for my list. One of them's kind of like a quiz for you.
Oh, okay. So that's my list. If you haven't played them, play them now. Most of them, of course, are still available somewhere. You can even get Phantasy Star 2 on Xbox Live Arcade.
Nice. All right, I'm going to start with my honorable mentions.
All right.
And
should do that from now on.
You should.
Because they're the lesser games.
Yeah. Well, I don't think these are lesser. They're just They didn't quite crack it. First one is because it's got the code that everyone knows, and it's Contra.
Yep.
Can you remember the Contra code off the top of your head?
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start.
Oh, you the man.
And up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start if you're playing 2-player.
That's right. Do you know what that code's known as?
The Konami code.
It is.
Of course I know what the Konami code is.
Well, just because you play video games doesn't mean you know what that is.
That's true.
Like,
I saw a pretty badass tattoo actually on the internet recently.
did they have the Konami code?
They had a Konami code. And it was funny because a bunch of people were ripping on him on the comment section because he had select in the code, and everybody was like, "There's no select in it." And like,
yeah, it's 2-player, bitch.
Anyway,
so Contra made the list mostly because of the Konami code, because it started the Konami code, I believe.
it did, I believe, yeah.
I've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, like not a console, not a computer, the actual arcade version. I can't even imagine how many quarters I dumped into that game.
You can get that on Xbox Live.
Oh, I know. But it's not the same as sitting there.
No, it's not.
It's just not. But I mean,
that was a pretty awesome game.
Oh my god! I mean, that's.
Who's your favorite turtle?
When I was a kid, or now?
Like in the game.
Oh, in the game?
Yeah.
It was probably Donatello because of the staff.
It
had some reach on it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I. And Raph, because I liked Raphael.
Yeah. And my final honorable mention is Zelda.
Yeah.
And only the first one.
I only really played maybe the first 3.
I hate the second one.
The second one is stupid.
Ridiculous, where you can bounce around on your sword like a pogo stick.
Well, it was a side-scroller. It should never have been a side-scroller.
But, I mean, they're all good in their own way, but to me, they're not Zelda.
Yep.
Only the first one is Zelda.
Yep.
Other than that, they're different games. They just have the name.
Yeah, and they have Link in them.
But you're not even really Link. Like, they're all different. Like, if you're going to have a series of video games, they kind of got to follow each other, don't they?
Well, yeah.
Like, at least the second one follows the first one. And Ganon has come back. Right? The other ones just make up their own stories. It's like, you just happen to be named Link.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Super Mario Brothers. They're always the Mario Brothers.
Yep. But are they always after Bowser?
I don't know. No, I don't.
Again, not playing them, I don't know.
I don't play the Wii or anything like that. So.
No.
All right, so let's get into the real list.
Yes.
In no particular order. This one goes back to NES.
Nice.
Bionic Commando.
That could have made my list.
I love that fucking game.
I have it on Xbox.
The updated one or the original?
No, the original. Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't have bought that piece of crap.
I played the
2000 remake. No. I have the original NES version on arcade.
Love that game. I think I played the demo, or maybe I have. No, I might have played it on an emulator.
Yeah.
Hard as shit.
It is.
All old games are hard now, man.
Yeah.
Because they're simplistic, and you're
too simplistic.
They're too simplistic. We mentioned Dragon Warrior earlier. I went to play that again. I just got my fucking ass handed to me in that game. Because you want to do stuff so quickly,
yep.
And you forget that it takes days of.
You have to grind
of beating up slimes.
Yeah. Especially the elusive metal slime that always ran away.
Yeah. It's like that episode of South Park when they're playing World of Warcraft. They just kill sheep for days, right?
Boars,
actually. Whatever. Never played World of Warcraft.
Still one of the best episodes ever.
But I mean, you had to do that grinding with that game of nothing but slimes until you leveled up.
Yep. You had to do the same in Phantasy Star. Yeah. It's a grinding game for sure. I mean, most old role playing games from that era are grinders. You can't play them without it.
Yeah. But Bionic Commando was just great. There were so many little things to do.
The grappling hook thing.
It's just great. It
was amazing.
And then all of a sudden it's Hitler's head reanimated at the end. Like, spoilers. But
I guess the only thing that I thought was a little stupid about that was one shot and he's done.
Yeah, but you had to get that shot, though.
Yeah. Because you had to do the swing and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a fantastic game.
Game number 2 is from the computer.
Okay.
Space Quest, the entire fucking series. Maybe not some of the later ones, but man, I love those games. They were funny.
Yep. I almost put Full Throttle on my list.
Ooh.
Because that game was hilarious.
Space Quest kind of goes that whole. I was like Sierra as a game company,
Yeah.
like that, like Heroes Quest, all those humor adventure ones.
Yep.
I loved.
Like Monkey Island.
Yep.
Grim Fandango.
Yep. Even do you remember the Police Quest games?
Yep.
Those games were excellent.
SWAT. The early SWATs.
The early SWAT ones were good.
Yep.
The first Police Quest SWAT was terrible. Or Police Quest SWAT 2 was amazing. You were just these little groups of guys and you would converge on buildings. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Yep.
I would play that. If I could find that game, it would be on my computer right now.
Yep.
Just mindless. That and like Syndicate.
Yeah, nice.
Like the old PC, not the Xbox version that I tried the demo for.
I was going to say, yeah, they're bringing that back, but it's nothing like
Just selling it on name alone.
Exactly.
I went with Super Mario Brothers. Just because, when you had a Nintendo, like an NES, that was a big purchase when we were kids.
Yep.
And getting a game was a big thing.
Holy crap, was it?
Like I mean,
once or twice a year, if you were lucky.
If you were lucky.
Maybe Christmas.
Yeah.
And I got one or two for grading because I begged.
We never got grading presents because how did Mom put it? She goes, "You're just expected to pass."
Exactly.
I'm not giving you a present because you just did what you were supposed to do.
Congratulations!
It's
You
like,
did what you were supposed to do.
Do you want a cookie for getting up this morning?
Yeah. Yes, actually, I do.
So
chocolate chip, please.
Yeah, like it would be a big special occasion that we got a new game. So I mean, I played that game so much. That Super Mario Brothers 2, and then once we started getting to Super Mario Brothers 3, and he's got the raccoon suit.
Yeah.
That's where I start fading out at and not caring anymore.
And I was a Sega kid,
yeah.
So I was always a Sonic guy anyway.
So that made it just because of how much I played it and how much fun it was to find. You were always looking for the little secrets, like where you could warp at and stuff.
Yep. And where like the secret coin rooms and.
Yep. So it really made it on a nostalgic reason and just for how much it got played. Same with Bionic Commando. Those games got played so much. It wasn't go down to EB, pick up a game.
Play it, trade it.
Play it, trade it.
Yep.
Because, I mean, you weren't getting a game for $15 back then.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm playing your shitty copy of Conan that you got for $15.
That's not mine.
Oh, whose is it?
Mr. Fredericks.
We took it from your house last weekend.
Yeah, because he lent it to me like 2 years ago.
Game is terrible.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It really is. You should have took Eternal Sonata. It's pretty cool.
I just finished Forza Horizon, which I'm going to talk about once we're done because I got a way different opinion than you do on that game. Next is Silent Hill.
Yep.
And I'm going to leave that one as just the original, not the entire series, because some of the ones in the series suck.
The Room.
Oh, especially The Room. But just the first Silent Hill, one of the first games that ever scared the shit out of me and just creeped me out.
That fucking cat in that goddamn locker.
Oh, my God.
Couldn't believe it.
Like, I mean, I remember every time after that, you're just waiting for something in a Silent Hill game to creep you out.
Yep.
You got the lights out. Now I'll only play it at night. The entire series gets played at night. Lights out, surround sound on. And I don't even turn my surround sound on very often anymore.
No, me neither.
But for that game, I do.
It has to.
It has to be on. And last on the list is a game that I know is near and dear to you as well, Metal Gear Solid.
Yep. The first PlayStation 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that game.
And even Metal Gear Solid 2. Up until...
Mr. Anime took over?
Yes. Because you get to start
Raiden.
You get to start as Snake anyways.
Yeah. The first one was...
But I mean, the second one, you're playing through the first one again just as Raiden.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it's a simulation. Spoilers. I think we talked about that before, didn't we?
I think we might have.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I mentioned the new one coming for Xbox. You're Raiden only.
Yeah.
So.
That might have been in that first one that we took down.
Oh, that's right. Or our first test.
Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah.
So we won't touch on it too much, so we don't repeat ourselves in case it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my list. I mean, it's nothing from the 360s on my list.
Nope.
Yeah.
Good list.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad.
I could have made that a top 20.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
A top 20 would have been easier than a top 5, but
Probably. Yeah. I'm sitting here now thinking of other ones that I could have honorable mentioned or put on the list, or just games, I played the crap out of.
I think we'll go with one top 5 each. Maybe we'll do the same thing. Maybe we each do a different top 5.
Just our own.
Yeah.
This is my top 5 crap for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That works. I could do that.
Yeah. You got any funny news for the week?
A brief one. I was reading. Actually, you know what? Now that I think of it, I'm going to bring up 2 things. I peruse my favorite news site probably a couple of times a day, FARC.com, and there was an article today on the main tab about the FARC headline was how do you make cops definitely want to arrest you and tell them that you're not done masturbating yet? And apparently that was the story. There was just some guy that people spotted in an alley behind a club, and what did the article say? Self-filleting himself. And when police approached...
Self-filleting?
It may not be the right word, but it was it's like that.
Well, self-filleting
yeah,
would
I know
be
what you
sucking his dick, wouldn't he? His own dick, wouldn't he?
But he wasn't. He was
Self-pleasuring.
Yeah, it wasn't the word. It started with F. But anyway.
Frolicking?
No.
Fucking.
No.
Fisting.
No, it's like filleting, but not flagellating. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'd have to look up the article, but let's not.
Let's stop because we're just making ourselves look ignorant.
He was approached by police, pants around his ankles, outside, tossing away. Stop that, sir. I'm not done yet. I'm almost done. Just let me finish. And then they arrested him.
Did they let him finish?
It didn't quite
do
get
you
into that.
Even as a cop, do you want to stop him? Do you want to? Because
But do you want to let him? Do you want to wait? Because then
do you want to tase him and have it go everywhere? Because all I can think is that scene from Grandma's Boy, where he's beaten off in the bathroom, and the guy's mom comes in, and he turns around, and he can't stop, and he goes, "Oh, I can't stop."
Yeah, I don't.
It feels so good.
So yeah, I thought that was just really funny. Like, excuse me, sir, stop. We're going to take you to jail. Oh wait, I'm almost done. Just brazen. But the other thing that I want to bring up is a phenomenon that I'm not sure if it's serious or if it's a joke or not. But it appears lots of adults are watching the new My Little Pony.
I'm not.
Neither
I
am
didn't even know there was a new little... I have a 7-year-old daughter, and I didn't even know there was a new My Little Pony.
Yeah, apparently they live in Equestria. But on FARC.com, there's every week certain shows have a comment thread that people, while they're watching the show, make comments and talk to each other about it. Walking Dead has one. Wrestling has one. TNA Wrestling has one. Thursday Night Football, all the games on Sunday, and Monday Night Football all have a weekly thread. And now there's a My Little Pony thread. And apparently, guys that watch this show are calling themselves bronies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you ever... And I mean...
I know you're going to tell me not to watch it, but I'm going to watch an episode to see what I'm missing.
You can watch an episode. That's fine. I'll accept you watching an episode. But if you enjoy it, I don't want to fucking hear about it.
I mean, I read the thread today.
I will find a new fucking co-host.
And there was a lot of arguing back and forth about...
I won't have you pushing your My Little Pony agenda here, bitch.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those cartoons. I'm getting the impression that yes, it's for kids, but there's a lot of adult stuff in it.
Like Remember Chippendale's Rescue Rangers? That had tons of adult jokes in it.
Exactly. And I've never watched it, but I gather Phineas and Ferb does the same thing.
Kids watch that. I haven't really watched it with them, but they have celebrities at the end of every episode. Like, just like kind of green screened in, like they're interviewing them.
Oh, nice.
I think I remember one, I think it was Ben Stiller. That's the only one I remember.
Yeah.
That's not one of the kids shows I watch with them. The one I watch all the time with them is iCarly.
Yes, I know you watch iCarly. So I'm not allowed to watch My Little Pony, but you can watch iCarly?
Yeah. iCarly's awesome. The kids I made the kids spaghetti tacos tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they make them on the show, so they asked for them. So it's like, oh, what?
Spaghetti tacos.
Well, it's just a spaghetti in a taco show.
In a taco show, yeah.
So, I mean, it was it's like, whatever, sure, why not? They loved it, and they thought it was great and fun, so.
So I am going to check it out. I want to see what I'm missing. I don't think, I have no plans on becoming a brony.
You don't
or joining any discussion threads.
But what if you really like it?
Does that automatically make me a brony?
I think I would have to.
I think I would have to join discussions about it to become a brony.
But if you really enjoy it, you're going to discuss it.
Yeah, but I don't discuss anything on the internet. I'm more of a lurker.
A troll? You'll occasionally pop in and say something just to piss people off?
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, you're a troll.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, but
I don't like the fact that I know that term.
As people say, obvious troll is obvious.
Yeah. I think that's about it for this week. I'm ditching the Silent Hill review again. Movie reviews. Go see it. It's good.
Yep.
It was confusing at the beginning, but they explained it pretty quickly. But it was a good flick. It was 3D. It was my first 3D movie. So it was interesting. And a couple of the trailers were in 3D.
That's interesting. That's the most interesting part, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of them was a 3D movie. It was for one of the trailers was for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D.
Oh yeah.
So
remake yet again.
I don't know if it's a remake. I think it's a sequel of the 1975.
Okay.
Like it's ignoring the remake and the prequel that were made, and then all the sequels of the 70s one. I think it's like a direct sequel of the 1975 one.
Interesting.
Kind of like Superman Returns is a direct sequel of the
Yep.
first two Superman movies. Kind of forgets about the Richard Pryor one and then the god-awful, worse than Richard Pryor one, The Quest for Peace.
I was just going to say that as far as superhero movies go, Superman 4 is probably one of the worst.
Yep. Along with,
Absolutely.
let's see, I was going to say...
What's the one Billy Zane was in? Wasn't he in it?
The Phantom?
Yeah.
No, I say Quest for Peace is worse. I say the Quest for Peace is to superhero movies what the Super Mario Brothers or Street Fighter were to video game movies. God awful.
Yeah. Still, not that it was super great, but still the best video game movie is probably the original Mortal Kombat.
I think it's Silent Hill.
I suppose, yeah.
And I think once I go see Wreck-It Ralph, it's going to be Wreck-It Ralph.
I read a review today on that, and it's people love it.
Yeah.
I think it looks fantastic. Especially because Kubert's in it. I mean, really? Kubert? All right.
Well, that's it for this week. Before we go, I want to give a shout-out to Game Code, the Game Code, local video game show.
Yep.
You can watch it on the Bell Community Channel, or you can get it on demand on the website.
They are on Facebook as well, yes?
Yep, Facebook, Game Code TV, and Twitter at Game Code TV. Check it out. It's great. Local. I mean, that's what we need, a local video game show.
Yep.
It's great.
So if I weren't so lazy, I could have thought of that and done it myself. But kudos to them. It's a great idea. I love the fact that that Bell's doing that community channel as well.
Yeah, they're doing it a little bit different than Eastlink does. Eastlink helped you produce the show and all that stuff, whereas the Bell channel is mostly just you go do it yourself, and we'll put it on TV for you.
Yep, which is pretty cool.
Yep. So that's it for the week. We'll see. Well, you'll hear us next week, I guess.
Yeah, and don't forget, of course, to check us out on Twitter.
Yes, at FairlyOddCast.
YouTube.
And Facebook.
Exactly.
Peace.
Peace.